channel is America's election headquarters.
We're getting some pizza ready here on Money for Breakfast. Pizza for breakfast. The prices of cheese and flour may be spinning above our heads, and that's reflected in Domino's earnings this morning. The pizza chain missing street estimates by 5 cents a share. We also are waiting to hear on Papa John's. It's important to note that the pizza restaurant industry bakes up annual sales of more than $30 billion. But the big chains are sharing the bottom line now with a lot of mom and pop pizzerias. So the chains are turning to new national promotional campaigns. Here to talk more about this are Richard Slawsky. He's the editor of PizzaMarketplace.com, and Peter Dunay, Chief Investment Officer at Meridian Equity Partners. Welcome, gentlemen. Richard, let me start with you. How big is the pizza business?
Well, there are about 75,000 pizzerias around the United States. As you said, more than $30 billion, the size of the market.
And what about these earnings that just came out from Domino's? They were down by about 50% because of rising commodity prices of, higher costs for milk, cheese, flour.
Well, cheese prices are about 50% higher than they were this time last year. Some independents are telling me they're paying 3 times as much for flour as they were a year ago. So that's definitely impacting everybody.
Peter, what about the earnings here? You saw Domino's, and now we're waiting on Papa John's. It's getting a little harder to make dough in the pizza business. Forgive me.
And you really hit on the theme. It's the higher commodity costs. You're seeing wheat, which is up 300% in a year. Sugar is up 50%, which I believe is used in the sauces. All of these commodity prices are very hard for these pizzerias to pass on to the consumer. So even though I'm expecting the prices will probably rise, it is going to overall hurt their margins. So it's just a very tough area with a lot of the slowdown we're seeing and the boom in commodity prices that we expect to continue.
Yeah, and if people are under the gun economically, if they're feeling like they have to cut back because the economy is slowing down, do they stop going out for casual dining?
I think that may actually become a problem, particularly in an area where it's not the high-end specialty dining and it's not really the low-end, it's that middle area. I think people will start to want a little bit more, so they may go back to the neighborhood pizzerias where they can feel like they're getting fresher products and maybe a little bit better food as opposed to that casual, fast dining area.
Richard, break it down for us. How much of the pizza market is independents and how much is chains?
It's about 50-50. The independents control about 50% of the market. The chains control about 50%. The top 3, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and Domino's, they hold about 33% of the market.
That's still a lot. I mean, that's a lot of pizza parlors.
Oh, definitely it is.
Yeah. Now, Peter, there is a difference here, though. We have these publicly traded pizza chains like Domino's and Papa John's, and then the small mom and pops. They're independent. Because the big ones have shareholders, do they have to worry a lot more about all these other issues like pricing, and can the independents compete better with them because they are not publicly held?
I think there's probably 2 sides. When you get into a really large company like Domino's and Pizza Kitchen, they can certainly go into the futures market and buy wheat a year out and ways to hedge against the rising costs. But the expansion becomes a little bit of a problem for them. The neighborhood area will actually be able to raise its prices a little bit better and say we're offering something a little special. I didn't realize it was a 50-50 market between the local neighborhoods and the large publicly traded companies. So I think the neighborhood places really have an opportunity to move ahead here and offer maybe healthier cuisine.
Yeah, Richard, what about all that?
Well, the big 3 are the chains. They definitely have the ability to go out and hedge the cheese and wheat prices, whereas the mom and pops are facing these fluctuations really on a weekly basis. But they can charge a little bit more and offer a little more specialized service.
All right, Richard and Peter, thank you for breaking down the pizza business for us. And now we want